Good morning, Blue Jays fans, and welcome back to Jay's latest. Sorry, I've been a little technical difficulty, power outage, name it. Every little weird thing you can have up to start this up every morning, every morning. So here we are, talking Blue Jays, talking news, having fun as always here on Jay's latest. Make sure you hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons. And we have some fun to talk about today because what an epic game at the Dome last night. City Connect night, all sorts of fun. But we're going to talk some really, really good news right off the bat first. Shane Bieber, George Springer are done with their rehab assignments. And yes, George Springer basically went one game, one single, and a home run to opposite field, by the way. And he is back up. Shane Bieber, however, just had another incredible start for the Buffalo Bisons, and I think it's go time is what it's going on here. So we're going to be very interesting to see what this rotation over the next few days looks like with him in the rotation because he went 7 innings yesterday. Yes, you heard that. A guy who returned for Tommy John surgery just had 7 incredible innings against the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, which are the Philadelphia Phillies minor league affiliate. 7 strong innings, 6 hits allowed, no earned runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts for the Beebs. So we're gonna see him out of those Buffalo Blues, and we're gonna see him jump right into the Toronto Blue Jays uniforms. More than likely, his debut would be probably for Thursday or Friday next week. Lines up with the steps he's on right now. Bigger questions for the Blue Jays are what in the world are we going to do with all these good pitchers? So Scherzer's crushing it. Eric Lauer's pitching tonight, and he's been on fire as well. Bassett and company have been doing pretty well as well. So what's going to happen? Is it going to be a 5 or a 6 man rotation? Is really the big question. Guess we're going to find out in probably 5 days. So, on that note, he won't be activated today, but George Springer will. So, there is going to be a move at some point today that is going to be sending somebody, unfortunately, back to the minors. Just how it unfortunately is, you got to make room for George Springer, especially with the wonderful season that he's been putting together. So, it's going to happen. It has to happen. It's going to suck. It's going to be somebody that I'm going to wish that didn't because there's just so much talent on this team right now, and it is what it is. First up off the bench, it will be that for that person that gets sent down to Buffalo to finish the season out. But on that note, it will be interesting to see George Springer swinging it like he was before, because in Buffalo, like I said, is one outing he had a home run and a good single. So, and the home run was an opposite field one. It was just a rope down the right field line. I couldn't believe it. It was really fun to watch the highlight. I highly recommend checking that one out. So let's talk about last night because that was a weird, crazy, up and down final comeback win for the Toronto Blue Jays. Jeff Hoffman picking up the win after a epic 8th inning. So let's talk this one out because at the beginning of this game, it looked like we had zero frickin' chance. Jake DeGrom is a monster. 2.76 ERA, 5 innings yesterday for him, 2 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts, and the Blue Jays more or less just got to him early enough that they knocked him out. He's been injury prone. He's only on, I don't know if he's actually on a pitch count or anything, but he only threw 84 yesterday, and the guy was dealing. So at that point, fine. If that's what the Rangers I want to do, but I would have just rode that out against the best team in baseball outside the Milwaukee Brewers, the Toronto Blue Jays. I would have rode that one out. 6 innings of work, like I mentioned. So and then the bullpen comes up. Blue Jays were able to chip back into this one, and it started against Robert Garcia, sorry, and Garcia ran into some trouble. I felt that coming. Sorry, everybody. Anyway, Garcia is ready to go and comes out of the bullpen after a shutdown inning by the rest of his bullpen and DeGrom, obviously, and gets to face Captain Kirk, who I'm just going to crown the king after this whole thing. Yesterday is King Kirk. Just had an incredible night. 4 RBIs, 2 for 4. Also had the home run. And that's where this started for the Blue Jays. So at the time, massively trailing 3-2. They were trailing 3-0 at this point. The opposite field home run from Alejandro Kirk scores Dalton Varsho. and this thing proceeded to land in the Rangers bullpen in right field and bounce into the bleachers. So all you bleacher creatures got to fight over the ball. So Kirky obviously has been one of our best clutch hitters, been very, very good. He's really figured this RBI thing out and how to bring some of those guys in. But after hitting that home run in the bottom of the seventh, Marcus Semien, former Toronto Blue Jay, decided that, hey, you know what, this game's getting too close, and hits a 2-run bomb of himself. And as much as I love Marcus Semien, I did not love this home run. So Semien puts them back on top 5-2, and this is go time for the Toronto Blue Jays. They in the eighth score 4 runs to eventually seal this victory. It starts off with Andres Gimenez, then Davis Schneider hits a nice single down the line. I don't want anybody to disprove that, because that Davis Schneider at bat might be the reason we won this game, and that's the one I want to make sure I lay out, because it was an epic 10 pitch at bat, really wore out the pitcher. And then Bo Bichette steps into the box with a runner on first and second and drives in a single, which Andres Gimenez scores from second. Davis Schneider rounds all the way to third, and barely, but he made it to third. I'm surprised they didn't review that, the Texas Rangers, to begin with, but to that point it sets up the stage for further fun after Vladdy takes a very, very well thought walk. Dalton Varsho takes a walk. So now the Blue Jays are in striking distance at 5-4. Sets the stage perfectly for Mr. Kirk in the 6th spot yesterday again. And Kirky singles, driving in Vladdy and Bo, and puts the cherry on top of even the stolen base after that whole thing. Yes, you heard me. I'm not goofing. Alejandro Kirk actually officially stole a base. And then at the end of this game, after Jeff Hoffman closes the damn thing out, Vladdy proceeds to steal second base, literally physically steal it from the ground and make sure he gifts it to Alejandro Kirk for his first stolen base of his career. So to that point, just fun. Those are the kind of shenanigans that have made this team one of the most fun teams to watch in baseball. And what a comeback. Very epic. I'm very glad that everybody got to see that on the baseball universe scale on Apple a little bit last night, as much as I hate the Apple broadcasts. And I feel like they're stealing Dan and Buck from me, especially after we just got that pairing back in the broadcast booth. Thanks, Apple. Appreciate it. Not. So on that note, let's talk where we're going to go today, as we do get our normal broadcast for the Blue Jays back. Today is going to be a battle between Eric Lauer and Patrick Corbin. Patrick Corbin was one of those guys that's been bouncing around for the last few years, but to that point, he's still a hell of a Major League Baseball pitcher, especially in a rotation like this, where he doesn't have to have the expectations of being the ace that he was dancing on the line with for most of his career. Corbin currently has a 4 ERA in 117 innings. That's 22 starts. He has been pretty regular over the last few outings. Not a lot of innings, though. His max over his last 3 starts was against the Los Angeles Angels, where he got in 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. Last 2 outings, he didn't make it that much. 3 innings against the Yankees and 4 1/3 against the Philadelphia Phillies, in which he both allowed 3 earned runs. So the Blue Jays have a chance to get some runs today against the lefty Patrick Corbin. So expect the Davis Schneider and whatnot option lineup today, everybody. So on that note, facing our lefty, Eric Lauer, age 30, having the best season of his career, 83 innings, with a 7-2 record, 2.82 ERA, which is just awesome and ridiculously good. His WHIP is barely over 1, so walks and hits per inning is 1.06, which is very, very, very low. That's in relievers numbers. So on that note, Lauer has been incredible, doing really good. 3 innings in his last outing against the Dodgers was a little rough, as the pitch count rose on him pretty quickly. 3 earned runs, 4 walks is what really bit him in the butt in that last outing. But before that, he was doing epic stuff. So hopefully he puts that Dodgers outing besides and runs with it. Somebody in this lineup that is definitely not looking forward to seeing Eric Lauer. For some reason, Corey Seager has 14 at-bats against Eric Lauer, and he's batting a mere 200 against him in those 14 at bats. Everybody else barely has one. So must be a lot of relief appointments from when Lauer was with the Brewers or something like that. But it is what it is. Ty France is the one that's gotten a little bit to Patrick Corbin in a few starts. Has a 1 home run in 11 at bats, and everybody else, not a lot of there. So make sure you tune in today, Blue Jays fans. The game is at 3 o'clock Eastern time, and we will be hoping for Blue Jays epic fun like we've been doing. Keep selling those seats out in the dome. I can't believe that we've been seeing what we've been seeing. It's been fun. It's been great. Make sure you hit up those like, share, subscribe buttons so you can talk more Blue Jays here with us, and make sure you tune in Thursday this week for the Jaybird Watching podcast, where we're gonna have a few guests on as well. Still a surprise. Thanks you join us. Live show. Talk to you soon. Go Blue Jays, and yeah, lights up. Let's go.